My name is Sam Miller. I'm 48. I've lived in India now for the last 8 years.
My name's Anay Shah. I'm 26 years old.
I settled in India 3 years ago.
My name is Jack Lienars. I'm from Netherlands.
I came to India 2 years ago. I moved with my husband to New Delhi.
My name is Gilles Chuyen. I'm French and I've been living in Delhi now for the last 15 years.
My name is Peter Kronschnabel. I'm the president of BMW in India. I'm since August 2006 in India, and I'm originally from Munich, Germany.
The image I had of India was the general idea, like crowded, overcrowded, chaotic, full of challenges. And for sure the opposite from the world where I was coming from.
I had no knowledge about everyday life, about the people, but my knowledge was about text when I came before.
I mean, I came from a family who travelled around Europe, but would never have considered going anywhere further. So it was, if anything, it would have been India, Delhi belly, dirty country poverty. But beyond that, I hadn't really thought about it.
The first time that I came here when I was this young, I only can remember like poor people living on the street and dogs who, you know, weren't fed well or weren't fed enough. That's sort of what I had in my memory.
Basically, I'm a journalist. I worked as a South Asia correspondent for a Dutch newspaper, Telegraph Netherlands, and I was in the foreign desk in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. So they sent me here.
I originally came here as a sort of BBC journalist we were newly married and I wanted to move here.
I came here for a variety of different reasons. Professionally, because I needed a change in my job and wanted to do work on the ground in the environment sector and with a social enterprise. And personally, I've wanted to recently connect back with kind of my roots and learn Hindi and experience India.
I moved to India around, now it's going to be 6 years ago, and I actually came first to study. I did my MA in sociology from here, and then I just happened to stay back.
I'm from Lamjes College. I've done economic here, and while I was doing my study, I saw like in the newspaper these days also, India is growing up. So I thought I have seen the opportunity, the chance in a business.
We wanted to do something different. We wanted to move to a country which is one of the developing countries, you know, like China, Brazil, India, and in the end, we chose for India.
I got a job in the cultural section of the French embassy in Aurangzeb here for 2 years. And after that, I stayed on because I decided to do a PhD about India. So I got a scholarship for that.
India for me was an attractive place because it's where I was born and also somewhere that I'd heard a lot about as a growing market.
My mother thought I'd completely lost the plot. I mean, India is somewhere she'd never dream of coming to even now. But I think more so as well because I was coming out to run a little camp in the middle of nowhere.
We were overjoyed because we've been waiting for this for 15 or 20 years. There are very few jobs in India. And even this one, we were told that we couldn't possibly come. They had someone else for the job. So I cried and cried for about 6 weeks until the miracle happened and he was given the job.
Por siglos, India ha estado atrayendo a los visitantes de todo el mundo. La gente ha venido aquí para la belleza natural, la herencia cultural rica o las comidas variadas. India les ha invitado y ha dado bienvenido con cordialidad a los visitantes que han venido aquí para el negocio, el ocio o el estudio.
We have a long tradition of people coming into our country and making India their home, and those people have been accepted, and they have become part of our history, part of our culture, part of our civilization, so to speak, and so that there is a degree of receptivity to other people's cultures.
In the 16th century, up until the beginning of the colonial period, India was the richest place in the world. It had 2 harvests, all the diamonds in the world, much of the gold, the spice trade, the textiles, and the Tudors came here not as part of some sort of aid project, but because this is where the cash was. India had a brief period of poverty at the end of the colonial period and the beginning of the post-colonial period. Now is reverting to its natural state at the center of world trade.
It's almost become trendy to come here. I think in the old days, coming to India was like a huge decision. Why would you go there? And it's a bit unusual. Now everyone knows someone who's gone to India. There are endless people, friends of friends of friends, who get in touch and say, so-and-so told me to get in touch with you. We're planning to come out, wanting to find out more about it. It's built up a kind of steam of its own coming to live here. But in fact, people come from a huge range of reasons. It could be because they're married to an Indian. It could be for business reasons, and obviously there's so many more business people coming here. Others will come here for reasons, they want to study yoga, or they want to study Sanskrit, or they're interested in Hinduism. They're interested in music and in dance, a whole range of sort of cultural traditions which still command an incredible amount of interest in the West.
Hoy en día es la economía creciente de India que lo ha hecho un destino atractivo para la gente de todo el mundo. Con la economía creciente, la promesa de una vida cómoda y su reputación creciente como un poder mundial ha hecho India el destino favorito de trabajo de los expatriados corporativos. Por la primera vez, los empleados extranjeros tienen ganas de trasladarse a India en busca de trabajo.
India is one of the fastest growing economies globally. And obviously, if you look down the line, the next 10, 15 years, India will become one of the most important economies in the world.
As a multinational, if you're not present in India, you will miss the boat. You have to be here right now. So there's a lot of focus on India.
India is an attractive now site for investments of all sorts, and it's much more obviously inexpensive to run a business establishment, to run a trade establishment, and to run now, of course, educational centers of all kinds. Secondly, I think the civic amenities have improved dramatically, so that housing is of high quality, and roads are a little better, and living conditions are generally agreeable compared to what they were a decade ago. And finally, I think probably one of the most important attractions is the fact that there is a lot more to do, so to speak.
Asimismo, después de mucho tiempo, unos de muchos indios que han estado trabajando o estudiando en extranjero vuelven a casa. Hace muchos años salieron de India en busca de mejores trabajos y educación, el dinero y un mejor estilo de vida, pero ahora son las mismas razones que les hacen volver.
My parents left India when I was about 3 years old because for them the work environment was better, job prospects were much safer there in the UK than they were in India at the time. We've actually done the reverse. We've come here with a 3-year-old because the jobs prospects are better here in India than they were in London. The medical facilities are much better here. Schooling is of much higher quality, in my opinion.
Personally, wanted to delve into like the psyche and the philosophy and the spirituality in this country. And then there's the side of it where as the older you get closer to your parents and grandparents, so I wanted to learn the language and get back and get in touch. So it made sense.
de trabajar en el sector de desarrollo a manejar las compañías multinacionales, los expatriados consiguen trabajos en campos diferentes. Aquí han encontrado unos modos raros de cubrir los nichos de mercado, también entrando en los sectores como bienes inmuebles, venta al por menor y hospitalidad, además inventando los servicios como concept cafés y los restaurantes y viajes de bicicleta.
We have bicycles, we have guides, and then we ask people to come with us and we show them all Delhi. It's a 3-hour tour and we show them the main places like monuments and the places everybody knows. But mainly we also try to show them the small hidden places, you know, the real nice small alleys, the places where people usually don't come because they don't know how to get there or they're a little bit scared.
Just because I love the country, I love travelling in this country, you meet incredible people, you see amazing sights. I find it fascinating and I just want to share that with people. You know, yes, what I do fundamentally is sell holidays, but I don't look at the bottom line. What I want to do is create an experience so that everybody who comes here goes back feeling like I do about the country.
ये सफ़ेद रोशनी पानी की तरह गिर रही है आसमान से आपकी तरफ एक और गहरी सांस लीजिए और पूरी तरह से छोड़ दें
studios in Delhi, in Saket and in Southern England. So I teach modern as well as like fusion when I work with professional dancers. I do shows with my own dance company called In Step. I do shows for corporate events. I teach in other institutions. I'm a guest faculty at the National School of Drama.
I'm a foodie, you can say so. So I thought, like, let's try to do something in hospitality. And I found out that there were less bakeries and good place where you can have a good sandwich or a bread. And that's why I decided to do something with that. And in the end, it became a bagels cafe.
In India, still Korean food is very not the popular thing, it's true. But what I found in India also, the customer has a right, and there are many people came from abroad or they already went abroad. So they know the real taste. So I should focus on the more authentic, more Korean thing. Then we'll grab the customer.
Establecerse en un lugar nuevo siempre es un reto, pero a los expatriados les parecen las cosmopolitas muy acogedoras y fácil de establecerse.
You see so many more international brands coming up and international cuisines coming into Delhi, and that's a good thing. I really like it.
This country has changed in the 3 years that I've certainly been here as well. Just if you take small aspects like shopping, in 2007 I think there were a handful of malls in the suburbs of the city where you'd have to go out, trek out for 1 hour just to get there, and you'd probably come across 5 or 6 big brands, international brands. Now the malls are all over the place. You can get everything from high-end luxury to day-to-day brands. So it changes, this city changes on a very regular basis, and I think every year that I've been here, it's becoming less and less of a hardship and more of a familiar place.
There's now malls rather than just shops in Connaught Place and Khan Market. But the kind of things that I love about this country, the culture, the calligraphy, the dance, the mysticism, the history, all the things that attract me are still there. It isn't as if the old has been replaced by the new. It's just that a new layer has come, like concentric circles on a tree. It's more like that.
One of the reasons for my wife to give labor here is because the hospitals are very good. There are a few private hospitals in Delhi, and I found that the service was really good. It's very professional, and Actually, I feel that it's better than in Holland.
When we knew we were having a baby, we thought about going back to the UK, and then we realized that the healthcare here is much better. It's more patient-orientated. Facilities are better. The hospital is much better than the one where we had our first child as well. So for us, it was never really a decision to go back to the UK.
I don't feel unsafe here, no. That's really a thing that is actually very positive living here. I didn't expect that I would feel so safe here. Actually more safe than I felt in Amsterdam sometimes.
Physically, I feel safer than I've ever felt in any other country. I've heard Bombay and other places are incredibly safe. I've thought about that once in a while because you're in DC, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you do look over your shoulder and you don't go to certain parts of the town. Here, I feel completely safe. I'll take an auto any time of day, and I think a lot of it's due to even though there is violence and there is kind of urbanization, the values stick with people, and so crime doesn't seem to be as prevalent here.
I just think it's wonderful to be here now where instead of a kind of sealed off environment, India is waking up and again taking full advantage of all of their resources, especially their people resources, and moving ahead instead of, they're very active with business and commerce and certainly in the computer field. So I'm finding it to be a great time to be here, because no one's sitting there saying I'm in a poor country. They're saying I'm in a country that's going somewhere.
In India, you got the feeling that you're really living. There are very good days sometimes, and there are sometimes really bad days, but it makes it very interesting. So, and I really like the business vibe that is going on here. It's much more than in Holland, for instance.
Most Western people come here and they expect India to run like the West, and so they were like, well, I have to have it done in 3 weeks, and if it's not, they get very stressed. But I was like, 3 weeks, let's say 6. It was done in 5. I had the help of a great chartered accountant who works with quite a few expats here and knows the system. So I left everything pretty much in his hands, turned up when I needed to turn up, and it was done.
So I came in kind of with a Western, mentality of just, you set deadlines, you do things, you tell someone to do it, you expect it to be done. And here it doesn't necessarily work that way.
There are 2 things. First of all, when you're a good leader, you have to actually compete with somebody. I strongly believe.
At the end of the day, I must say, we all have a good team. We have formed in the company a great team of expatriates and locals, and it's not about where you come from or who you are. It's more about I need your support in order to achieve the goal, and we all need to work at a certain level in order to achieve our company's goal.
Indian life it's full. It's a very colorful life, full of challenges, opportunities, and it's never boring. It's colorful in like colors. If you look around, you see all colors of the rainbow, but it's colorful of the cultures live here, colorful of different mindsets, colorful of name it, and it's here. Everything you're looking for in life you can find in India.
Well, it's a challenging place where to stay, most definitely. I think that's what's the beauty of it. It's a chaotic place and a noisy one, but I think that's also what keeps you company throughout, your day and whatever. You never feel alone. Like where I'm from, it's like silence all over.
The fact that there's so much around that you're never alone or isolated here. That there will always be someone who knocks on your door, whether it's neighbors who are popping in to see how you are. That aspect, I think, is not something you get in the UK now.
There's certain moments you have in India that remind you that you're in India, as opposed to just outside of your comfort zone and outside of home. So I had an experience back in October where I lost my bag with my money, my passport, my laptop, my everything, my entire life in a bag in an auto. And a week later, the auto driver called me up and returned it to me with every single penny accounted for. And that was an experience that dramatically changed the way I understand India, because it's what I've always heard growing up.
La experiencia india también está transformando para muchos expatriados, quienes están enamorados de la gente de India, el baile, la música y las películas. La mayoría de los expatriados quieren ser una parte de la cultura vibrante de India y son entusiastas de adoptar las costumbres y tradiciones.
It's a fun aspect of the Indian culture that we can probably take back, because in Australia everything Indian is in fashion, and Bollywood dancing classes were on offer even before I came to India. But I thought, no, I'll do it, I'll learn it from the real experts.
When we moved into our house, we also did a puja and an opening, and I have also Ganesh at the entrance, and I do believe in these kind of things. Actually, I don't know if I really believe in it, but I don't want to push luck. So I also did, of course, a puja here when my shop opened, and all things when my son was born, and you know, yeah.
I wear my little black band here to protect against evil, and I try, if possible, but I'm not very disciplined, to go. My pandit told me I should go to a temple on a Thursday and do a little puja, so I try and do that.
Mientras algunos expatriados planean volver a sus países, muchos van a quedarse aquí.
We want our children to grow up here. They are born here, both of them. I have two children, one son, he's 2, and one daughter, she's 4. We got married here in Goa. We want to have more children, and we also want it to happen here. So no, we have but my wife, she has her own business. I have my own business, and it's just in the first phase, so I want to make it big.
I have my own business. I want to make this a huge success, and as I told you, it's like a concept, another standalone restaurant, so I really want to work on that. And my husband also set up his own company in real estate last year, so he's also just starting. So we'll definitely stay here for a much longer time.
Los que dejan India solamente no serán los artefactos y artesanías que llevarán consigo en sus maletas. Serán las cosas que han aprendido, los amigos que han hecho, las experiencias que han tenido, que las querrán. Ellos van a llevar esta India en sus corazones. Donde quiera irán ellos.
Endless friendships, experiences, places, memories that are on the whole fantastic, life-changing. I've spent the last 25 years either living here or spending a lot of time here, and so it's become a major part of my life, more than half my life. And I've learned a great deal.
I take back from India warmth, the colors, the generosity of the people, the helpful, the open-mindedness, and last but not least, and actually the most important thing for me, I take lifetime friendship. I have a couple of good friends gained in India, and I'm sure this is a lifetime friendship.
There's a hidden side of India most people don't know, and only when living here in India for long periods, it's a treasure you find. So moving to another country, that means maybe I find this treasure again, but I have my doubts. I think India is a special thing which you cannot find in other countries around the world.
Y los que eligen a quedarse aquí, India les aceptará y les hace como indios.
sometimes I forget that I'm a foreigner. So like, you know, maybe I'm walking around and I'm doing things and I don't realize that I'm actually not Indian. And like, you know, if I go, especially for work, maybe I go to various villages and so on, and then like, you know, maybe people start looking at me, you know, they start staring, and I'm always like, why are they looking at me like, whatever, like, you know, am I looking so strange? And then I realize, oh yeah, I'm not Indian.
I feel a foreigner now when I'm in France, I'm in the West. I mean, I don't really relate. I feel very much, see, this thing, you know, like it's, also because of my PhD, I read a lot about identity and being Indian. What is being Indian? You know, frankly speaking, sometimes when I speak to my friends here, they feel you're more Indian than us. So the package, I mean, the white skin and the body, I mean, it's nothing.
I noticed how to start doing this. Really, when I got an answer, last month I was in Netherlands, and my parents, they asked me something, and I said like, maybe. They told me like, Jack, what are you doing? You've become Indian.
When people write profiles of me, they seem to think that I'm becoming Indian. And I can't see it myself. I was described as the only living Punjabi Scotsman the other day, sitting back with on my charpoy, my roti and my parathas and achar and my goats, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel Indianized. I feel Indian. Yeah, I feel Indian.
नमस्कार जी।
नमस्कार नमस्कार, कैसी?
ठीक हूँ और आप?
मैं अच्छा हूँ।
I can't explain it. It just feels like home. I think everybody has some kind of internal feeling of home. And for some reason, India feels that way to me.
I feel that India is my home, which is quite crazy, but most people who know me, my Indian friends here, think it's probably due to past lives. But when I've never felt settled anywhere, even in the UK. I've lived in Canada, I've lived in Austria, I've lived in France. And yet, as soon as I landed in India just over 3 years ago, and I got to the jungle, it was the first time I felt settled, that I didn't want to be rushing off anywhere and visiting and traveling, and I just feel at home.